Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to be checking out the Urbanglide Pro from Vanpowers. This is a well-balanced bike for commuting. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel and also ring that notification bell for future notifications of our videos. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so this is the Urbanglide Pro model. Right now, it's on their site for $18.99, but I'm gonna let you guys know they're having an awesome sale coming up from November 10th to November 30th. And these bikes are starting at $999, so just under $1,000. You can check these bikes out using the affiliate link in the description below. It helps out the channel, but a fantastic value. So if you're looking for a really good deal on an e-bike this holiday season, this might be the one, especially if you're looking for a great commuter bike. All right, as you can see, this is a step through and it weighs just over 70 pounds. You've got a 500-watt motor in the back that gets this bike up to a top speed of 20 miles per hour. You do have hydraulic disc brakes with 180 millimeter rotors. Should do a pretty good job of stopping. Now, this being a commuting e-bike, it does not have fat tires on it. It has 27.5 by 2.2 inch tires. They do a really nice job on the road. You do have front and rear metal fenders. We normally don't like fenders, but these are really low profile, really sleek, and they don't move around. You got a very nice rack in the back. This holds up to 55 pounds. If you go around to the back, you have working taillight and brake light. There is the Vanpowers logo. Now, this is a pretty nice seat. It doesn't have a lot of padding, but it is super comfortable. It does have 30 millimeters of hydraulic suspension on it, on that seat post. So it moves up and down to make up for the lack of rear suspension. And it does a fantastic job of doing that. You can also adjust the seat height by loosening this lever, and it'll go up and down depending on your desired seat height. Now, this is the large frame, and this fits riders from 5'7" all the way up to 6'3". You can actually see the L for large on the frame, and you can see the class sticker there. It's class 2, 500 watt, 20 miles per hour. So the battery that comes on this bike is a 48 volt, 14.4 amp hour battery. And Vanpower says you should get up to 65 to 70 miles of range on a single charge. Obviously, that's with the lowest level of pedal assist. And the battery fits nicely in the frame, so it doesn't stick out. It just goes right into the frame. It looks really nice on the bike. You have a key slot here to remove the battery. You can bring it inside and charge it. It's really nice. Or you can charge it on the bike, whichever you prefer. Now, you do have a power button on the battery. You need to turn this on in order to turn the bike on the handlebars with the controls. And to turn it off, just hit it again. And there is your charging port. You get a 3 amp charger. What's really fantastic about this e-bike is you do get a torque sensor, which is super nice. I'd rather that over a cadence sensor. The difference is with the cadence sensor, it's all or nothing. So once you start pedaling, you get all the power at once. With the torque sensor, it puts in the assist depending on how much power you put in from pedaling. There are your hydraulic disc brakes in the front, along with your 27.5 by 2.2 inch tire with your metal fender. You have a nice zoom fork in the front. It gives you 80 millimeters of travel. Does a really fantastic job of handling those bumps. You have a little different headlight than we're used to seeing on these e-bikes. So we'll see how that works when we're out in the dark. You do have a nice quick release in the front to take off that tire in case you get a flat. So you do have an 8-gear system on this bike. This is the Mega Drive from Microshift. So normally we see 7, but this one has 8. So you get that extra gear. Now you do get a pretty decent size chainring. Pedaling at 20 miles per hour should be pretty comfortable. All right, so we'll take a look at the handlebars. We'll start at the left-hand side. You have your locking grips, which are really nice. These aren't going anywhere. Your left brake lever. You also have a thumb throttle on the left-hand side here. We're seeing that more lately, so it's not something that's unusual. You do have your controls, your power button, your pedal assist up, and your pedal assist down. You have your bell. You have your nice 3.5 inch LCD display. On the right-hand side, you have your locking grip, your right brake lever, along with your Microshift shifter. All right, so back to the display. We're going to turn on the bike. Don't forget, if the bike isn't turning on, you need to check your button down here. Make sure this is on before you can turn it on with the handlebar power button. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold down the power button until the screen comes on. And you can see the Digitech display All right, so looking at the left-hand side of the display, you have your gear indicator for your pedal assist. N being neutral, which means no pedal assist at all. It's just like riding a normal bicycle. You can use your plus button here on your controls to go all the way up to 5, which is your highest level of pedal assist. In the middle here, you have your speedometer, which will tell you how fast you're going in miles per hour. In the upper right-hand corner here, you have your clock, which is really nice to see. You don't see that a lot. You also have a bar meter for your power, along with your percentage here too, with an actual battery icon here. So you have 3 different ways to tell how much power you have. You also have your odometer, so we have 4 miles on the bike, and you have your tripometer, which resets every time you turn the bike off and back on again. All right, so there are your specs and features of the Vanpowers Urbanglide Pro. If you guys have any questions about the bike, leave them in the comments section below. We get back to everybody, and we're gonna hop on this bike and see how it performs. All right, we're on the Vanpowers Urbanglide Pro. This is a commuter e-bike. So far, so good as far as being comfortable. And just walk right in the middle of the road there. Do a brake test here. And that didn't sound good. Yeah, I have them all the way squeezed down, and I barely stopped at the stop sign. So the brakes could use some work. Now we're going to do a speed test here. And like we said, this thing is awesome and has a torque sensor on it, which we absolutely love compared to the cadence sensor. And we're getting about 24 miles per hour right now, but you can feel the motor cutting off at around 20 miles per hour, which is the advertised top speed of this bike. So to know you can go a little faster is pretty nice. So they definitely nail that 20 miles per hour advertised top speed. Now, as far as comfortability on this bike, it feels really nice. Like we said, you have that 30 millimeter travel on the seat post, which you can definitely feel. And I thought the seat might be a little uncomfortable, but it is really comfortable. It's not that padded, which is kind of weird because you think the more padding the better, but this seat feels really nice. They did a really good job. Now, we're definitely loving the torque sensor. I cannot stress enough how important having a torque sensor is on your bike rather than a cadence sensor. Cadence sensor is all or nothing. So once you start pedaling, you're getting full power compared to the torque sensor, which puts in as much as you're putting in. So the harder you pedal, the more assist you're going to get from the motor. Now the riding position is really nice too. You can definitely tell it's geared towards commuting. They say you would get probably on the lowest pedal assist setting, but 65 to 70 miles max of range, which is nice. And I could definitely see how you could be comfortable doing all those miles on this bike. It's just really well balanced. They did a fantastic job of it. As far as the screen goes, really nice screen. You can see it very well even in the sun. A lot of these bikes, you can't see the screen when you're out in the sun riding. It kind of defeats the purpose of having that screen in the first place. We're on pedal assist level 5, which is the highest level of pedal assist on this bike. And it feels really nice. You know, having that torque sensor, it's very smooth. Instead of that cadence sensor, just like we said, all or nothing. It's just all the power, full force when you start pedaling. So it's a little jarring compared to the torque sensor that's on this Pro model. The controls are situated in a really good spot. You have your thumb throttle on the left-hand side. We're seeing more of these bikes come with the thumb throttle on the left-hand side. Your handlebars, they definitely raise. They raise up so you get a nice little rise, and then they come back slightly so you get a nice position for your arms and your hands. And what we're going to do is we're going to test out those front forks. Since we're on the road right now, can't really feel much. They might be working, but we're going to test it out on some more bumpy terrain just to get an idea. and see how that 80 millimeters of travel with the front zoom forks performs. So definitely loving these grips, these locking grips. They are not moving at all. And this bike is really silent. You can't hear anything. That motor is completely silent. There's no rattles, no shaking. Those fenders are really solid. Oh yeah. Yeah, those forks on these bikes do a really good job of giving you that nice suspension. Like those bumps back there, I could hardly even feel them. And you lack the rear suspension in the back, but you make up for it in the seat. So you have that 30 millimeters of travel with that seat post suspension, which definitely does make a difference. We're not going to take this bike off-road just because it does have those 27.5 by 2.2 inch tires, so they're not meant to go off-road. I'm sure you could, but it makes no sense doing it here because that's not really what the bike is made for. This is a full-on commuting bike. But yeah, that torque sensor, really nice to have in these bikes. I cannot state that enough. Now the brakes are okay if you're going slower speed, but once you go up to like 20 something miles an hour, they start making that noise. So we'll see what's up with those brakes. But guys, there is your Vanpowers Urbanglide Pro model. Got the nice rack, brake and tail light, 8-speed physical gears with that mega drive from Micro Shift. And normally we're not a fan of any fenders, but these fenders are really nice that they put on the bike. They're low profile and they don't move at all. And believe it or not, I think it has something to do with them capping the top speed at 20 miles per hour. But even with this smaller chainring, it still feels like you get some resistance even at like 24 miles per hour. You know, when you're going downhill even. And that could have something to do with the torque sensor as well. But guys, fantastic bike. And like we said, if you want to get a really good deal, their Black Friday sale starts November 10th to November 30th. And you can get a lot of money off this bike. I think the standard model starts at like $999, so just under $1,000. So even being in physical gear 8, that torque sensor makes it really easy to pedal, even going uphill. But yeah, no problem at all. Fantastic bike. Guys, if you're looking for a really good commuting bike, check out the Vanpowers Urbanglide Pro model. You definitely won't be disappointed. And if you have any questions for us, please leave them in the comment section below. We get back to everybody. And until next time, thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Peace out.